Hello, Founder fans. Jason here. Welcome to Founder of the Day Trivia Edition. It's Friday. We're playing trivia. I see people rolling in. I know you're as excited as I am to play a little trivia. As people start showing up, I'm going to talk about a little bit of a change we're making this week. We're actually going to go back to how we used to do it. From here on out, I'm going to ask a question, and we're going to let everyone answer for a second, and then we'll give everyone credit who gets the answer right. This is how we were playing from the beginning, but the last few weeks we had been doing a winner-take-all scenario, and, well, I felt a little guilty declaring winners, especially when some of the questions are, in a way, objective. So here it is. I'm going to ask a question. I will give a few seconds for everyone to get their answers in, and then when we give the answer, if you got it right, you get it right, and you get credit. And that way we won't have to necessarily make Matthew the villain, although I'm sure he will still do very well, and that may still be the case. I don't know if you're even here yet, Matthew, but I'm already bringing you up. Furthermore, I have written, we're going to have 13 questions this week, 7 of them based on this week's founders, which I discussed all in the live video on Wednesday, and you can read on the website. And also, I am going to another deck of cards that I had. They are map cards, and they are what happened here throughout the Revolutionary War. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them from this week. And they are, hi Matt, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I have mixed them up. The trivia cards were in order, but I have attempted to mix them up. I'm mixing them up now. Okay, we're mixed. We are mixed. I'm going to make one quick change because I forgot to move my big thing here out of the way, and now we're good to go. Hi, Ashley. Welcome. I also do want to say there's a few winners from the past few weeks. I know we had one get lost in the mail, and the prizes might be, some of them are a little behind, but all the prizes are going out tomorrow. And speaking of prizes, I almost forgot. This week's prizes, 2 stickers of signatures. We have Thomas Jefferson, which I know is going to be difficult to see. Will it find? Will it? It always does it at the last second. Well, it says Thomas Jefferson on there, and it is John Adams. Now, John Adams is especially special because it is sold out. I am the last one, apparently, to have John Adams stickers that we are giving away. Now, Matthew, when you say the bottom of the screen is dark, I'm not entirely sure what you're referencing. Over here, maybe? We'll call this part 1, and maybe this part 2. I did try something new with the banner for this week's sponsor, Liberty & Co., who sent us the amazing stickers that we are giving away as prizes. I tried something new with their thing here that should pop in and out, but if it just is black, let me know, because then I can try and get rid of it and just pop it up like normal. Like, tell me, Matthew, does this fix that problem? Let me know. Anyway, it's 4 minutes in. Number 2 was over here. Let me know if that fixed the problem, because I don't see anything on my end, but thank you so much for letting me know. And let's start playing trivia. Again, everyone who answers will get credit, everyone who answers it right. So, okay, thank you, Zoe. Thank you so much, and thank you for playing. Well, let's get started. So, question number 1. What founder foolishly blew himself up with a homemade contraption during the Battle of Gwyn's Island? Gwyn's Island. So just to remind you, the Battle of Gwyn's Island took place very early in the war in Virginia, and the Lord Dunmore, who was the last royal governor of Virginia, well, he had gone to Gwyn's Island and was hiding there, and not hiding, but hiding there with his army, and the Patriots came and chased him out. And there was only one casualty for the Patriots, who did a very good job, and it was this person who foolishly blew himself up with a fancy-pantsy contraption, or a thingamajig, or a gadget, or what one might call a doohickey, because I do see 2 people writing in, Ashley and Matt, off to the races. Thank you for paying attention. I kind of figured Matt would get this one. He actually was one of the people who recommended this founder to me. I know, not fair. But the rest of you can recommend founders for me to cover, and it'll be fair. So, we are going to pop it up over here to our game scene. And that's right, I almost forgot. Left Liberty & Co. up. We're supposed to show you guys. I'm not very good at promoting the sponsors yet. I love Liberty & Co. They have the best American Revolution products. And that's why I'm so happy to work with them and have them sponsor the channel. That being said, we're going to go with Ashley first with 1 point, and Matt second first with 1 point. I said second, and of course that made me think too, and I typed it wrong. But I fixed it. We're all good now. I'm going to turn this sponsor banner back on, see how that works. Let me know if that changed anything. Anyway, question number 2. We're going to go to the cards. Now, I'm going to read the card. I will try and show it on the camera. It might not be perfect, but I will also, I'll tell you a date and a place, and you have to tell me, well, what happened there and then. So we're starting on November 15th, 1777 in York, Pennsylvania. What happened, and we'll see if this works, what happened November 15th, 1777 in York, Pennsylvania? It really doesn't want to hook up, huh? I mean, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea. We're having fun, though, right? What happened November 15th, 1777 in York, Pennsylvania? This is a tricky one. See, I don't know the answers to these questions. These ones on the card, so I get to play along a little bit with you guys. Let me know what you think happened November 15th, 1777 in York, Pennsylvania. You guys can give me guesses. Whoever gets the closest, I will give the answer to, because this is tricky. I'm not even sure. I'm going to sip my coffee because I'm, need a lot of energy to get through this, and I didn't have enough today. I'm not seeing any answers come in, and I can kind of understand why. There's only a handful of us playing right now. I'm sure people will come in later. They always seem to. York, Pennsylvania. When I hear York, Pennsylvania, I immediately think of the Continental Congress moving. Okay, Ashley saying Articles of Confederation. Matt saying a battle. So I do believe that this is just after the Redcoats come and take Philadelphia and capture Philadelphia. And the Continental Congress, I believe, they first moved to Lancaster, then York, Pennsylvania. And they're only really briefly there. And they're kind of scattered. I'll speak more clearly. And the Articles of Confederation is a good guess. They may have finished ratifying it there. Not ratifying it. No. It would be a few years before it was ratified, but they might have all agreed to it there. I know that someone passed away. Well, let's find out. And Ashley coming through. Congress passed the Articles of Confederation, the first document to bind the 13 colonies together as the United States of America. It served as the country's governing document until the current Constitution went into effect in March of 1789. For over a year, Congress had been struggling to write a charter that would unify the states and authorize congressional authority in In mid-1777, the legislators continued their work after evacuating Philadelphia in favor of York to escape General William Howe's forces. The Articles of Confederation, which did not allow Congress to collect taxes, got rid of it, blah, blah, blah. And it says here, Maryland ratified it March 1st, 1787. So, you knew that because of AP history. Well done, Ashley. Very well done. We are going to pop this over here. We're going to go back over here. And Ashley taking commanding lead with deuce. Well played, Ashley. Yeah, so very interesting. It does make sense that they finished. It had already been written by then and had already been being discussed. And again, it wouldn't actually be ratified and therefore go into effect for another 4 years. 3.5 years. But still, very impressive, Ashley. So we're going to go back to my questions and do one of my questions, which I hope are not too hard. I mean, you guys got Doohickey Arundel, but I feel like that was a toss-up because how could you forget that name and that story? So, question number 3. Which New York anti-federalist published under the pen name A Plebeian? The pen name was, I guess, plebeian, but A Plebeian. It's technically the pen name. New York, of course, was rife with anti-federalists after the Constitution was sent around. In fact, 2 of New York's 3 delegates bailed at the Constitutional Convention. And we're like, we don't like what this Hamilton dude's up to. So if you guys remember the name of the anti-federalist in New York who published under the pen name A Plebeian. Answers coming in. Right now it looks like it's an Ashley and Matt competition, which honestly I'm fine with. I'm sure people will come around later. There is an extra question this week. Should be lots of opportunities for people who are just showing up to get in there. And I see Matt and Ashley both coming in with the same correct answer, Melancton Smith. Interestingly, Matt's having trouble spelling it. It is a tough name to spell. But I actually saw it spelled, I have it as Melancton. Everyone spelled it wrong. And that's okay. But I actually have seen it with an H after the C. Melancton Smith. Maybe not like that. That's not how you emphasize the H. Only if we're like reading Hebrew, that's how you would emphasize the H. Okay, so here we're going to bounce back. That was quick and easy. You guys did very good. Bravo. So Ashley with 3 and Matt with 2. I like it. Okay, you guys are coming through this week. Coming in hard this week. Let's continue. Let's go back to one of these. And for anyone coming in late, we are only 3 questions in. You got plenty of time to catch up, and we're giving the points to everyone with the correct answer, just like the old motto, the old method, which, I felt like I was kind of scaring people away last week. I mean, Ashley and Matt, I think you were both here last week. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want people to feel bad. I want people to participate. We're, trying to learn. This is a weekly review quiz of what we learned in the past 7 days. Kind of. I don't know all the answers to this. So, we're going to the next card. And what happened here? Morristown, New Jersey, January 1st, 1781. Morristown, New Jersey, and again, I'm going to try and show you this. I should have taken a still shot. Now I know for next week. I should have taken a still shot. Come on, it zoomed in before. There it is. Morristown, New Jersey. Yeah, it worked. Oh, and my banner popped up. That's great. That's working too. Things are working out. And now I'm super blurry. Come back to me. Okay, this is a bad idea. Well, I'm sorry I've gotten so blurry, everyone. I assure you, that was not my intention. Does it come back? Come back. If it doesn't fix in a second, I can go ahead and fix it. So, anyway, what happened in Morristown, New Jersey, January 1st, 1781? Man, I know I should know this. A battle. I mean, Ashley, you're going to be a little more specific? Let me see this. And if I'm blurry, I do apologize. I'm going to see if I can fix it real quick. I'm probably going to screw it up. There we go. Is that fixed? Does it look absolutely terrible? Probably. That's not, you know what, preacher? That's not true. Everyone's smart enough to play. These are hard questions. I'm kind of stalling here. I am trying to fix the screen and make sure it's not destroyed by this card. Okay, doesn't look great, but we'll take it. You know what, can I bring this down? No. It's bothered me how terrible I've made myself look now with the camera. Take it off auto. Anyway, do you guys want to see it? Yeah. Well, now I look terrifying, and I apologize. Oh, that's why my brightness went way up. This is how I set it up, usually at the beginning of the day. There we go. That's better. Do I look okay, guys? Let me know. I didn't want to look horrifying. Someone did leave, and I do understand why. So anyway, Morristown, New Jersey, January 1st, 1781. And I haven't even guessed. Oh, the largest mutiny of the war. More than 2,400 soldiers of the Pennsylvania line, protesting poor rations, lack of pay, the Army's enlistment practices took over camp and fired on officers, killing 2. General George Washington faced several mutinies as the Army's supply problems continued. The country produced ample food and clothing, yet the Continental Army was hungry and cold. Soldiers deserted in droves. Many were sick, and morale plummeted. The New Year's Day, many troops, having served 3 years, believed they would be going home, finding out they would actually committed for the war's duration. Men rebelled and left camp to take their complaints to Congress in Philadelphia. The mutineers were met in Princeton by delegates from Congress and Pennsylvania, who offered them amnesty, back pay, better clothing, furloughs, and a review of disputed enlistment terms. On January 20th, 200 men from New Jersey mutinied. This time Washington took a hard line. He demanded the soldiers surrender unconditionally and had 2 of the leaders executed. Matt, I agree. Dates and places are very hard. See, preacher, you're not too dumb. None of us got it. I feel dumb having forgotten. It's confusing because it was the Pennsylvania line mutinying in New Jersey, and also Morristown is confusing because that had previously been the winter camp of the Americans. So none of us are awarded points, and we will continue on as such. I did mess up the screen a little bit. Yeah, actually, it's really intense because Pennsylvania line mutiny, they had kind of just complaints. Not only was things hard, but the whole enlistment thing, they thought they had signed up for 3 years. Okay, it's January 1st. Bye. We've fought in the war for 3 years. Money, please. Bye, bye, bye. And then they were told, no, you're signed up till the war ends. Now, at this point, no one knew that Yorktown was later that year. But, just like any army, people signed up for a certain amount of time and a certain amount of pay and then would go home. And what's really interesting is as the card said, just a few weeks later, New Jersey, the New Jersey line mutinies, and it's a lot less people, and Washington just goes, no, this is not happening throughout the war. Let's just execute the leaders. And that's what they did. America. Yes, enlisted men, unfortunately, Matthew, historically, generally seem to be the ones getting the rough end of it. Let's go to my next question. Then I wrote, and this one everyone has an opportunity to do. This one has 4 answers, and I will give out 1 point for each answer. So if you're just coming in, it's not too late. You just get your answers out there. 4 of the first 8 vice presidents were from New York. Who were they? There we go. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And let you guys tell me, who were the first 4 vice presidents from New York? In any order. I was thinking about saying 1 each, but, it seems like there's really only 2 or 3 of us playing here, so. Hi, everyone coming in. You came in just to see me drink my coffee. We are in the middle of a question. The question is, 4 of the first 8 vice presidents were from New York. Name them. And we're also now playing where whoever answers gets a point. We're no longer doing that whole only one person gets a point thing. It's no fun. And Matt coming in with some answers. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he's right. I know Ashley's got to throw some in. Hey, live stream. A lumberjack teacher. I usually dress like this in my regular life. That's why I've decided to dress like it on camera. My audio's low. Man, I don't know why my audio is always low on this live stream, but not my other one. I'll try and speak as loud as I can. But, yeah. My mother-in-law just bought me a shirt, and my spouse had said I look like a lumberjack just yesterday. All right, we're getting our last few in. Again, the question is, 4 of the first 8 vice presidents were from New York. Who were they? Throw them in there. You get them right, you get them right. You get them wrong, we forget about it. I do see answers coming in. I have seen, I will say, 3 correct answers coming through. But I'm going to wait and see if anyone gets the 4th one for a second. So you guys come on in. Popping up here is my today's sponsor, Liberty & Co. If you want the best American Revolution merchandise available anywhere in the world, you go online and you go to libertyand.co. Link in the description below, of course. I mean, I'm wearing one of their shirts right now. I think it's the Adams law firm or John Adams shirt. It might be the Washington headquarters one. Okay, and this is the last few seconds. I'm waiting to see. I guess no one's going to get the last one. And it's funny, the one that no one's getting also became a president. So, I do see... I'm going to pop up the score sheet over here. Because Matt did get... Well, you know what? I will say Ashley did get Tompkins and George Clinton. And Martin Van Buren. She snuck it in just in time. There it is. Martin Van Buren. And Ashley gets 6. And Matt did get Tompkins and Burr. Matt got Burr. And I see you sneaking in Van Buren here at the end, Matt. I'm going to give it to you. But Matt does seem to have gotten all 4 of them. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Wow, math is not my thing. I got it. And we're all tied up. No one else coming in here. No one else coming in here with the any answers. I guess it's just you guys. That's okay. We're going to keep playing. I'm having fun. I assume you are too. So, we are going to go to the next card. I'm going to hold it up further back so I don't screw up my thing again any worse than it already is. What happened here? Long Island, New York. August 27, 1776. I will hold it up further back. I don't even know if it's worth holding up. I don't want to screw it up again. But, now you can't even see it at all. Alright, I screwed it up. What happened in Long Island, New York, August 27th, 1776? Yeah, Ashley. Well, you know, it's easy to forget that Burr was vice president of these United States of America. Number 3. And actually, where was I reading it? I was recently just reading about how he was almost the 2nd vice president of the United States of America. Ashley is coming through with an answer. I don't know if anyone's coming through with any other answers, but August 27th. And yes, Ashley is right. August 27th, which I remember is my friend's kid's birthday, was the Battle of Long Island. And the card is basically going to talk about the Battle of Long Island, which is... The might of the British Army sailed up to the coast of New York City and sat there for a while, and then decided to get off the ships. And when they did that, they took over. They started with the Battle of Long Island, though technically Brooklyn, sometimes it's called the Battle of Brooklyn. Same battle, great big battle. Preacher's Day off, you know what, you're a little bit late on it, but I know I'm ahead of you guys, so I am going to give you one because you deserve it for all your hard work. So Ashley, coming out in the lead with 7, and Preacher, don't be sad. I know it's just 1, but we still got a lot of questions ahead of us, so it is time. There is time to get back to it. So, my question number 4, which I think is question number 7, is this next question, which is... Timothy Pickering wrote a book at the beginning of the Revolutionary War which helped his career. What topic did it cover? Timothy Pickering, who would later go on to hold several positions in both George Washington's and John Adams's presidential cabinets. Timothy Pickering. He wrote a book about the Revolutionary War. I'm sorry, not about the Revolution. No. At the beginning of the Revolutionary War. It'd be very hard to write a book about the Revolutionary War right when it was starting. That would be impressive. But at the beginning of the Revolutionary War, or actually just beforehand, he wrote a book, and it helped his career very much in the next several decades. Again, everyone just joining us now, we are playing trivia, and it's not first come, first serve anymore. We're back to the original scoring, where you can just answer. I'm giving some time right now for you to tell me what topic Timothy Pickering wrote a book about just before the Revolutionary War began. And it would help his career tremendously. I do see one answer coming in. I'm stalling for time, helping people find some time, getting in there. I see Matt and Ashley who both answered. I'm trying to buy some time for anyone else who might have any guess, you can guess. Don't be afraid to get it wrong. It's the internet. You are anonymous, and I will not be tracking you down. Don't worry. Feel free to give answers that are wrong, because we're having fun here. But I don't see any answers coming in, so I am going to start answering now. And that is a book about organizing the militia. And Matt and Ashley both got it right. I actually am going to give Ashley a bonus point because she wrote the name of the training manual. It was technically an easy plan for militia, but you know what? And I know you're going to be unhappy about this, Matt, because it's a close race. But I mean, she got the name of it. So I'm going to give Ashley 2 for that. I had already planned on doing that beforehand. I'm going to give you 1, Matt. Don't you worry. Well, no. No. What was it? Did I screw it up? Did you have 6? You had 6, and now it's 7. Guys, be honest. Let me know if I screwed that up. I'm sorry. Again, math is not my thing. I spent a lot of time actually looking into this week how to improve my scoring system, and I haven't come up with much. There are a few, like, trivia games, like, that kind of use Zoom, but they're just not the same. But anyway, yes, it was an easy plan for militia, and this early on became the Continental Army's main source of training troops, even though he was trying to plan for militia and Washington was trying to build an army, which is why when Baron von Steuben showed up and wrote his blue book, that became the manual for a much longer period of time. Okay, what happened here? I'm not even going to try and show the card every time. Next week, I'll take pictures of these cards. Next week, we'll probably do the Constitution one again from last week, and then come back in 2 weeks to this again, because variety is the spice of life. I will take pictures of the cards ahead of time, so I can just put them up here. And we're learning. I'm going to figure out how to host this trivia one day, I swear. But what happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, January 9th, 1776? January 9th, 1776. What exactly is it that happened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Now again, these cards I don't know the answer to. I do have an inclination right off the bat, but that's because it just happens to be something. It happens to involve a person that I was just reading about yesterday, though I was reading about something totally different regarding that person, who I will elaborate on once I see some guesses coming in. January 9th is about 7 months before the Declaration of Independence, so I'm just realizing it was that long beforehand. Matt, going with Congress met. It's a pretty, it's a good, I mean, it's a pretty broad but very good guess. Ashley, just with the word convention. Oh, even broader, because that could technically count the Continental Congress. I don't know if anyone else wants to give us a guess. Washington was appointed commander. That's a good guess too, Preacher. I don't want to give out these hints yet, but I see there were some people joining us, and it is not too late to catch up. I mean, Matt and Ashley are not going to make it easy on you, but it is not too late to catch up. Okay, here we go. Now, okay, no more guesses coming in. I'm going to guess that Thomas Paine published Common Sense on January 9th, 1776. Thomas Paine published Common Sense. I'm really proud of myself, but again, I was just reading about Thomas Paine, but his time in France last night. So it's a little not fair. Yeah, Thomas Paine published Common Sense. I didn't know the day. I just knew it was January of 1776. And it sold 300,000 copies. And this is a time where there's 2.5 million people in the colonies. And of the 2.5 million, the 0.5 are slaves. So, you know, it's about 2 million people who could actually purchase books. That's a huge percentage of the population. I don't know the mathematics behind it, but I mean, today where we live in a place where there's, you know, tens of millions of viewers for a YouTube channel, 300,000 doesn't sound like a lot. But back when it was printed like this, like it was every single person, every citizen, I should say, most slaves, I'm sure, didn't read it, but every person involved in the community who were liberated read it. It was unbelievably successful as far as publication of a book goes back then. And it is one of the things that helped inspire people towards independence. So, no one gets a point but me. And just to, as far as preachers, Washington was appointed. So this is 1776. So the war starts a year before that. The war actually starts in 1775 with the Battle of Lexington and Concord, and then Washington is appointed about a month later, and 2 months later he shows up in Boston. So, and spends the whole year of 1775 up until this point just sieging Boston, just kind of hanging out outside Boston, waiting for the British to do something. And eventually, about the same time, actually, is when Henry Knox is dragging cannons from upstate Ticonderoga, New York, to Boston to shoot from Dorchester Heights and oust the British and take Boston on St. Patrick's Day, 1776. So that's the first year of the war in the briefest possible way you will ever get it. Okay. Now, this week, you may remember, I wrote 2 articles about 2 separate men named Joseph Fenwick, and they were cousins. So, one Joseph Fenwick was a consul to Bordeaux, or a city in France. He was not a minister, but the head American of all Americans in this foreign city. So, Joseph Fenwick, the consul to Bordeaux, got into trouble when a ship he owned caused some trouble. What did his ship do? Just realizing I hate this question, I wrote the word trouble twice in one sentence, which is a huge no-no from my perspective, trying to be an engaging writer. Let's try this again. Joseph Fenwick, the consul to Bordeaux, got into some hot water when a ship he owned caused some trouble. What did the ship do? He was a part owner of a ship that did something bad. What did the ship do? I'm going to sip my coffee. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Gulp. Do-do-do-do-do. I forgot my water, actually, is what I want. That's all the way downstairs. So I will never have water again. See answers coming in. I'm trying to be patient and wait, but obviously Matt and Ashley are the only ones really playing today. Preachers, you know what? Preachers, give me an answer. You've been playing, and I really appreciate that. I want to buy you as much time as I can. Give my point to Matt. You got to get a point. You mean the point you already have? Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Preacher. I appreciate that. You know what? We have fun here. I will, because I feel like Matt and Ashley at this point, they're head and head anyway. Let's have a real challenging competition. You guys are both right. Thank you for coming, Mr. Preacher, though. I don't want to forget that. Yes. Obviously, you guys read the articles or watched the video last week. Joseph Fenwick had a ship he was part owner of. It was a privateer ship. It captured an American ship during the Quasi-War with France. And then, whammy, you turn around and sad times. Doesn't seem like he knew that was happening, obviously. And now I'm distracted because Mr. Preacher was so nice to Matt. Now I have to pop over here. I'm going to give you guys all points. If I can figure it out. Well, I'll give you his point, which makes it 8 if I can count. And then you both get 1, which is 9. Ashley with 10. Oof, double digits. I don't know if that's 7. Preacher, you've been erased. Not from our minds or our hearts, just from this particular game. Okay, so we're going to go back to the cards now. Thank you, sir. And I do plan on looking into the recommendation you made over this weekend. I write usually 2 or 3 articles every Saturday, so tomorrow I'm going to very specifically, I believe you were the one who made the recommendation for... Now I gotta look it up. It will bother me. Oh, man. I'm holding up the whole game. James Caldwell at the Battle of Springfield. We're doing it. Expect that article. If any of you have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm always happy to look into new things, especially if I've never heard of them before. So, going to the cards. 2 more cards left. We are going to South Carolina. Ooh. Lovely South Carolina. We will be going to Kings Mountain, South Carolina on October 7th, 1780. What happened in Kings Mountain, South Carolina on October 7th, 1780? And I'm here for it. And I know what one of you is going to say, and I'm not going to want to accept it. I'm waiting for it to come in. Kings Mountain, South Carolina, October 7th, 1780. Which is just about a year, almost exactly a year before the Siege of Yorktown. But, you know, far away from there. And I'm stalling for time now. I am stalling for time. What was the last question? I can keep talking about that one. Oh, Matt. Battle on a hill, huh? Instead of just saying a battle. That's what I was worried about. I thought one of you, at least one of you, would just say battle, which is interesting. Actually, with the last battle in South Carolina, oh, that's very specific. I do believe both of you are going to be right. Well, Matthew, if I'm going to guess, I want to say it's the Battle of Kings Mountain. I think it's the Battle of Kings Mountain. If I'm not mistaken, it was on a hill. The gentleman's name escapes me. Is it Marion? Is it the Swamp Fox? I think. And Ashley, you might be right. It might be the last battle. Okay. Again, as I've said before, the military history is only something I started studying about 3 years ago when I started considering doing Founder of the Day. I never really loved military history. I always had a cursory knowledge of how the war went, but never got too into it. It is something I've been actively attempting to learn more about, as I said, for the last 2 years. So forgive me if I'm a little confused, but I'm going to read the whole thing. It doesn't say that it is the Battle of Kings Mountain, but I'm pretty sure it is. Either way, American militiamen, frontiersmen, and over-the-mountain men from Tennessee defeated Major Patrick Ferguson's 1,000-man loyalist force sent by Charles Cornwallis to pacify the western mountains. Ferguson, one of Cornwallis's most trusted lieutenants, was the only British regular present. His entire force were loyalists that hailed from the colonies. Throughout 1780, a brutal partisan war raged in South Carolina and Georgia, with people divided by socioeconomic, religious, and political backgrounds. Both sides committed atrocities to avenge long-standing grievances. Partisan groups led by men like Elijah Clark, Thomas Sumter, and Francis Marion fought loyalist neighbors, local Tory militias, and attacked British outposts. That fall, as Patriot spies tracked Ferguson, area militias marched to meet him. At Kings Mountain, the loyalists, relying on bayonet charges and volley fire, were picked off one by one by Patriots firing from behind the trees. The hour-long battle claimed Ferguson's life. The defeat demonstrated the strength of the resistance and forced Cornwallis to pull back into South Carolina. Okay. Oh, Matt retracted a message. No, okay, I'm not sure. Anyway, I read a lot of that, and I'm sorry that I read the whole thing. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So, Matt, when you were saying a battle on the hill, I think you were referencing, man, I can't think of the name of it, and it's eating at me, because there was a battle that Francis Marion led that was strategically important. I can't memorize everything, guys. I can't memorize everything. Was it Francis Marion? Oh, here we go. I'm trying to find it. No, holding the British. Maybe it wasn't Francis Marion. We'll find out. Anyway, we'll keep playing. Yeah, interestingly enough, and I do want to point out, Thomas Sumter was in there, and Thomas Sumter is the namesake of Fort Sumter, where the Civil War broke out. essentially. And why can't I? If it's not, it's Swamp Fox. So it's not Swamp Fox. I thought it was Marion. Oh man, it's gonna eat at me. Matt, I know what battle you were thinking of. I don't think this is the battle you were thinking of. But actually, I'm not even sure if it's the last battle of South Carolina. I don't like Revolutionary War Battle, South Carolina. I don't want to not give you credit if you're right. Because I don't know that you're wrong. No, you are wrong. Okay, the Battle of Cowpens was in South Carolina in 1781. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Ashley. And I don't believe it was on the hill. Oh, because it's the Battle of Kings Mountain. Is Kings Mountain on a hill? Is one of many rocky forested hills in the upper Piedmont. And it's under the Battle of Kings Mountain. Okay. Ashley, that was a very good guess. Honestly, Matt, there is another battle, and I can't believe it's eluding me in my head right now that I'm thinking of. But, oh, I've had it on this the whole time? Is that what Man, I forgot to change this back over, huh? Anyway, Matt, tying it up. Technically on a hill, tying it up. So, all right, we got a few more questions left. I'm sorry if I forgot to bring myself back up to you here. I'll figure it out. There's this thing I want to get where, like, I can just have a buttons here to change my things instead of having to, like, click everywhere. I can just... It's called, like, a deck. Stream deck, I think it's called. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Joseph Fenwick again. A different Joseph Fenwick. This is the second Joseph Fenwick from the Fenwick family of Maryland, America. And they were cousins, and it was a big family, very wealthy, but one of them wanted to leave. So, when another Joseph Fenwick moved to Missouri, what were he and his followers known as? Now remember, Missouri at the time was held by Spanish, but the area they moved to was owned by a French person. And when the Fenwick and the other families that came with him moved to the plot of land in Missouri and created the Fenwick settlement, there was a name given to them by the French and Spanish and other settlers in the area. What did they call them? What were they known? What was this group known as? If I don't see anything coming through too soon, I'll give you a hint. I will give you hints in a moment. Ashley with the guess. Let's see. Go. Anyone else? What was the nickname given to this group of people who came from Maryland and settled in Missouri? Trying to buy time for Matt. Although he's probably just Googling it through my reading through my articles, right? It's very easy to cheat at this game. There's not a lot I can do to prevent it. Alright, Matt and Ashley, no, you're both incorrect. Although Fenwickians is a lot of fun, it is not correct. You may remember that these groups, and Ashley, they weren't technically even the first American settlers to go to Missouri, to my understanding. Sorry. What they were is they were Catholics, and they moved to a French man's territory because the French were Catholic. That was his property that was in Spanish territory because the Spanish were Catholics, and they were known as the Maryland Catholics or the English Catholics. Either would have been acceptable had you guessed one. Treehouse, it's very easy to cheat. Misfit, welcome. Yeah, Matt's, of course. Well, no, actually, everyone got the last one wrong, and it's tied. It is tied at 10 with 2 questions left. I apologize for joining a little bit late. Maybe I should have more questions for next week to run longer. I don't want to keep you guys all your whole life giving me your Friday night. Feel like aiming for an hour is usually pretty good. Treehouse, I mean, you could have figured it out. I write these articles down, and I have a video about it, although it would be hard to watch this video and pull up my other video at the same time, but still. That's why I brought in these other questions, the cards, that even I don't know the answers to, because, like, those are kind of like I don't know, how do you say, up in the air for anyone. But thanks for coming. Feel free to participate now. And make sure you like and subscribe if you're new here, because we do this every Friday. It's a fun little community we're starting to build. So thank you guys for coming. 2 more questions left. We're going to get to our last card. And this one, I'm sure, hoping everyone gets. Just looking at the date. They are What Happened Here cards. It is a day and a place. And the day is July 4th, 1776. And the place, as you might imagine, is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What happened July 4th, 1776 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? And you know what? Because this seems so obvious, I am going to have to be very specific about the language you use when you answer it. Get it right. Was there a ghost over my shoulder? Did you see that? Did anyone see that? Okay, never mind. Maybe my eyes playing tricks on me. Thought I just saw a ghost over my shoulder. But that's 100 years old. Could be haunted. Gabriel's Variety. American declares independence or something. Okay. And Matt, as I said, I'd like everyone to be pretty specific about this. What about the Declaration of Independence? Ooh. Okay, I see answers coming in. Ashley, yes, the Declaration of Independence was adopted. Matt, released for publication is technically not wrong. I was approving or adopting or ratifying the document because, some people might say voted for independence. Either way, released for publication technically, because after it was ratified, it was sent to the printer for broadsides to be published by Mr. John Dunlap. So I am going to go here, and I am going to give both of you 1 point. Unless I hit the wrong button. Of course, I'm going to do the wrong thing. Okay, where's the question? There it is. We're going to go here. We're at 11. This is a close race. This is a very close race. Yeah, you're right. No, I know, Matt. I'm just giving you trouble. It's factually correct. I know. Anyway, we're up to the last question of the day. And it is about one of my articles that we were just recently discussing. What is the name of the founder of Cleveland? The founder of Cleveland, Ohio. The person who went there and surveyed it. Although, as we discussed earlier this week, after he founded it, he left before anyone moved there, never to return. Still, he is very specifically considered the founder of Cleveland. I would love it if you could spell the name right. That is part of it is a little tricky. When I see some answers starting to roll in, let me know. I'm very interested to see what exactly happens here, because we are running with a tie, and I do see both Matt and Ashley coming in with Cleveland, and the last name is spelled right for both of them. Matt had Moses, but I feel like I should... Hey, Alexa, who's the founder of Cleveland? Yeah, well, good luck. Well, Alexa is a little bit slower than if you hashtag watch my videos, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or read the articles. The best thing to do would probably just be bring up the articles on the side of your screen. So we're going to pop over here, and I am going to award both Matt and Ashley 1 point. 12 points, which I think is a record. But we're in a little bit of a pickle here, because we have a tie. We have a tie. So, here's the thing. No, that's okay. I actually have been holding on to a tiebreaker for several weeks now that I'd really like to answer. You guys get one guess. Matt and Ashley, you get one guess to answer the famous tiebreaker question. What is my favorite color? Go. No way to prepare for this. No way to cheat. I mean, maybe if you've watched very closely, and I don't even remember saying it. I mean, I've been doing this for 14 months, so I mean, maybe I've said it. Let's see, Matt and Ashley, can you guess my number one favorite color? We've got two answers up: blue and orange. I respect that. As a person who lives outside Syracuse, blue and orange are very important colors in this part of the world. And I'm sorry, Ashley, but Matt has got the right answer on the first guess. Maybe you are a supervillain. I don't know. Very particularly, I like navy blue. Did you both take colors from my shirt? That's fair. That is a good guess. Although, truthfully, going with the hat might have been a better guess. But also, to be fair, I wear a variety of colors. I don't like all of them. I've actually was having this conversation just the other day about, did I say it? Yeah. I just the other day, I was like, you know what, I might need some new shirts. I don't want to, I never really plan it. I just kind of put on whatever shirt in the day when I take a shower, and then here I am shooting a video in it, and I should probably pay attention to if I'm like wearing the same color 2 videos in a row or something. Well, either way, congratulations, Matt, with 13 points. It was a good game. Way to be a good sport, Ashley. It's funny, I started doing this more inclusive way, and really just 2 of you played most of the time. I hope we didn't scare Braden away, or anyone else. I did see Misfit show up for a second, but I can understand if you show up a little bit late in the game, you might not want to play. There you are, Misfit. Hi. Blue is a very common answer. I'm sure it is. That's why I said navy blue. I almost anticipated that more than one person would say blue, and was going to make you specify what shade. Fun fact, my mom's favorite color is periwinkle. I think because she likes the name. I've never seen her actually wear periwinkle. So that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming and playing and watching trivia. We had a little technical difficulty this time, but what else is new for this channel? I guess part of the fun you come for is to see me screw it up. But yeah, next time, definitely feel free. Get more people to chime in. It always seems to happen. Sometimes we have weeks with less people. Gabriella, the flag behind me is the, it's known as the Burlington Flag. Thank you for asking. And I have a long video on this on my Patreon page if you want to support the channel, help me offset some of these costs. But more or less, the Bennington Flag, Bennington, Vermont, had a battle just about the time of the Saratoga campaign. And this flag is said to have been flown during the Battle of Bennington. The Battle of Saratoga ends up being one of the most important turning points of the American Revolutionary War. And the Battle of Bennington was an offshoot of that. It's not terribly far from Saratoga. Some of the Hessian soldiers, the Germans that were working with the British, went off to the side to try and get some supplies, and there was the Battle of Bennington. This apparently was supposed to be flown there, though the people fighting in it were the Green Mountain Boys and John Stark. And truthfully, this flag probably wasn't flown there, though the story goes that there was a flag like this flown there, and then it went to Millard Fillmore, would be a president of the United States, and his grandfather somehow came away with it, and that family kind of promoted that this was the original flag from the Battle of Bennington. Truth be told, it was probably a flag that was in the early 1800s, approaching the War of 1812. This flag was first really seen popularly, and it was probably created then as a memorabilia flag. Like if you invented an American Revolution flag today to celebrate the American Revolution, that's essentially why it was originally created. And that's what I like about it, is because, we're here remembering the American Revolution on this channel, and this was the first piece of almost propaganda saying, remember how great the American Revolution was? So I feel like it goes very well with this channel. So thank you so much for asking. But if Lisa was here, hey, Lisa's good. I hope she comes back next week. Normal sign-off round bottom for George Washington. Trivia night could be Peacefield for John Adams. Oh, that's a good idea. You've been thinking about that, huh, Matt? Yeah, Lisa does. Lisa does have her own site. What's the name? Historical USA. Is that? I should have the name of it. Next time she's on, we'll talk about it a little bit. Yeah, but you definitely follow her at Historical USA at on Instagram. I'm not good at Instagram, guys. I'm sorry. I want to be. I'm just not. I'm really trying. I've actually started putting. You may have noticed new like little sexier images on my articles each week, and I want to start posting those more on Instagram just to get a presence there. And I'm just seeing if I can double check what Lisa's thing is, because I do feel bad not remembering off the top of my head. But again, I'm not great at Instagram. Although if you message me there, as I believe Ashley will attest, were you the one I was talking, or were you emailing me? I'm sorry, between Ashley and Amber, I can't remember who I was talking to on email and Instagram. I remember the conversations very well. You guys, your name shouldn't start with the same letter. I don't know. I thought that was science. See, I can't even figure out how to pull up messages. Yes, Lisa. Yes, historical_USA. There it is. Thank you, Misfit. You beat me to it. I can't even use my phone. I read history books. You guys have seen the trouble I have just trying to run a simple YouTube show. I mean, it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months since I've done an interview with someone, and I have a bunch of people I really want to talk to who I've like kind of set up for it. I just can't figure out how to. There's always sound problems. Like someone mentioned earlier that I'm a little quiet today. I can't figure out why that is. It seems to be the same setup. Literally everything's the same as I did on Wednesday. I mean, I will check later just to see, blah, 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 blah. But I'm trying to figure out how to do a screen and screen. Instead of just doing, I just don't want to do the Zoom because Zoom controls it. So whoever starts talking, it then goes to, and like, I don't know. I will figure it out. I promise. I'm actually going to spend quite some time tomorrow after I write 2 articles. Going to spend the rest of the day on doing this. Anyway, not that I'm complaining. I really enjoy the whole experience. This has been one of the big thrills of my life. And I'm really in debt to you guys just for showing up and hanging out. I can't appreciate you spending your time with me anymore. If there are any other questions, I mean, it's Friday night and I got nowhere to go, but I also don't want to keep you guys because you got places to go. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, anything in the background, or anything about the American Revolution, I am here. Oh, I do want to go back to this, Matthew. I do like Peacefield. A lot. A lot. It's not as funny as Round Bottom, because Round Bottom is hilarious. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the Wednesday live video where we discuss the week's founders, I once wrote an article and we talked about a piece of property that George Washington owned named Round Bottom. And we got a kick out of that, and that is how I sign off on my the Wednesday live videos. But we need a trivia one. And Peacefield, I do like Peacefield a lot. We can go with that. Like peace fields. It works. It works on multiple levels. And this is the thick bottom part of the coffee that I should not be drinking at 9:15 at night. I don't know if I can do the Nixon fingers, Matt. I am not a crook. I do a pretty good Nixon. Did you see that? I really do a good Axl Rose, but I can't do it right now because there are children sleeping in this house. And to get to those high notes, I have to do it at volume. I mean, I'm talking loud, but I have to be way too obnoxiously loud. It'll probably blow out the speaker. Speaking of being, wrong. What's interesting about the sound, I don't know if you guys care, but here I'm almost, it's showing me that I'm almost at the point where I will start getting fuzzy for being too loud. And I do talk pretty loud. Yeah, but like I said, I'm looking into it. I'm trying to figure it out every single day, not every day. That's the problem with the videos, is I don't necessarily have time. Like I have this up here. I've been wanting to make this cooler for weeks, but don't have a lot of time every day. I have this whole, real life. And then on top of that, I am writing articles most days a week. I am publishing. I have to like at least do some updates on the website every day a week. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm just like, because of that, it just limits the amount of time in the day. And I don't know if you know this, but since last March when the world closed down, time evaporates. like time is, I've never moved so fast through my life as in these last several months. But with that, again, thank you guys for playing. Next week, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Get here, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Play some trivia. I don't want to sign off. There's still apparently several people watching, according to this program, though this program is always different than this one. Oh no, it's the same. Well, look at that. Very cool. So, for the 9 of you watching, I don't want to leave you hanging, but again, I'm not going to stand here until I'm all by myself either. So, I am going to bid you adieu, and I am going to take Matt's advice. I am going to go with Peacefield. So, oh, one last thing. We had talked about, especially Misfit, you said you were interested. I don't really want to stream games on YouTube because I want to keep this channel informational and about the American Revolution. The one game I did stream was like how to play it. But I think I am going to stream on Twitch, probably Sundays at noon. So, if you guys are interested, founder_of_the_day on Twitch, if you want to watch me rock out on that game, or if you want to challenge me to whatever American Revolution style game you play, let me know. I'm always interested. May you dream of James Polk tonight. Well, that's fairly sweet. I did write about Ezekiel Polk, his grandfather, who was an American Revolutionary War veteran. I am going to get out of here, and I'm going to do it, and you can make fun of me all you want, but please, Field. All right, not as good that time. I am not a crook. Peace, Field. Thank you.